Worship Leader, welcome back to the channel. Now, if you never met me, my name is Jimmy Cooper and I created Hey Worship Leader to be a resource for worship leaders. We talk about all things worship ministry, whether it's leading your teams well, how to pastor your people, and we even talk about gear. Now, talking about gear, I want to remind you, if you haven't seen the last few videos, we have a giveaway going on right now. This is the Geneva amp sim. It is an AC30 amp sim. It has a cab simulator in it. It's by Westminster Effects. I've done a few videos on this. In the first video, I walked you through all the specs and showed you what it can do and all the cool sounds you can get out of it. And then in the second video, I put it head to head with the HX Stomp, specifically the AC30 model in the HX Stomp. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But the important thing is I'm giving it away. So go right now, click the link in the description to enter to win. Now remember, you put in your email, but then there are like bonus entries. Right now we have, let me check, 357 people entered, but 10,910 entries. You get more points for doing the extra bonus entries. So don't forget to do that. You definitely want to win this. I think you got like a week left, so don't hesitate. Now, the majority of this video, we're going to talk about two different things today. The first one is the update in my Expanse pack. A few videos ago, I showed you and I gave you some tips for how to use an expression pedal. If you haven't seen that video, go check that one out as well. And a lot of you responded, hey, can you add that to the Expanse pack? If you don't know what the Expanse pack is, it's just a collection of presets. It's ever growing and I'm always adding stuff in there. What's cool is you pay one time and you get updates for free for life. And so there's a bunch of people who have the Expanse pack and they're like, hey, when's the next update coming? Well, it's here now. I've just updated it. There are, let's see, 8 new presets in there. Now, if you don't have the Expanse pack, you can go to heyworshipleader.com right now and check it out. You can read everything that's in there and that's been put in there up to date, plus all these presets that I just added today. So what I wanted to do first is quickly walk through the 6 expression pedal presets because I actually spent more time and dialed them in and made them really usable. So we're gonna go over those. And then actually a few weeks ago, I got to play bass at another church and I dialed in a bass preset. So I'm gonna throw that in, and then I'm gonna cover like the main content of the day, which is how to use snapshots differently, a new way to use snapshots, at least for me. And so we're gonna cover that as well. And I made a preset that I'm including as well in the Expanse pack update, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. So let's dig in. All right, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't want this video to be extremely long. And if you don't like this part anyways, you can skip it. I'll try to put the timestamps below. Jimmy, remember to put the timestamps below. Sometimes I forget. Anyways, today I'm playing my Reverend Gil Paris Natural. I'm putting it on the bridge and middle pickup and increasing the bass contour knob setting to about halfway, and it creates this kind of almost strat sound that I never get out of the telly. I like it, and I was actually using it this weekend as I lead worship. I'm talking too much. Let's go. So this first one is HWL, Hey Worship Leader Expression Reverb. And so what I'm showing you here is that this expression pedal is now mapped to increase the decay and mix. And what's cool is all the way down, you have a nice reverb sound. And all the way up, super long tail. And so what's cool about the expression pedal is you can bring in as much as you want through the sweep of the pedal. So that's going to be the point of all of these. I will also mention before I move on that there is an effects loop in here. I've saved it with it off because if you don't have the effects loop set up and the effects loop is on, you won't get any sound, and some of my presets before did that. So when I update it today, I'm gonna make sure that all the presets that have an effects loop in it, they're turned off. And I just want to mention it because if you're like, I'm not getting any sound out of this, it's probably because there's an effects loop, it's probably on and you're not using it. That's fine. I just put it in there because these are the settings I use, and you can drag and drop these anywhere you want. And if you're interested, I have snapshots that toggle on and off different effects. So snapshot 2 actually toggles on this Trinity chorus, which sounds really good with this setting. And then snapshot 3 just adds overdrive. All right, next preset, moving on. Hey Worship Leader, expression delay. I have this mapped to several different features on a delay pedal, and also this reverb right here. You can see it controls the mix a little bit just to add some ambience. If you want it, you can click this on and off, but this is what it sounds like. I have this gray flanger in here and also the bleat chop trim. I love these sounds so much, I could just play all day, but let's go to the next one. The next one is drive. Now, if you love overdrive, you're gonna love this preset because there are 3 different overdrives and you can stack them all if you want. Snapshot 1 does our first overdrive. It is the Timmy. And right now it sounds like this. I'm gonna just put it on my bridge pickup. No overdrive. But you can see all the settings are down. The treble cut, bass cut, which means it's maxed out treble, maxed out bass, and no gain. And then I'll increase this sweep and it gets all the gain. So now you can bring in or out as much as you want. So. Next snapshot is the heir apparent. The next one is the compulsive drive. And like I said, the cool thing is you could just turn them all on and just have fun. All right, the next one is Hey Worship Leader Expression Mod. Now what I have here is I have set up a the throaty wah pedal. So. Snapshot 2, I bring in this dual pitch, and what's cool is I have the expression to do both intervals, and so this one's like a sub octave with an upper octave. This one has a sub and a, what do you call it? The up. It goes down an octave and up an octave, and you have your original tone, so it's like a tritone. That's what I was trying to say. The next snapshot brings in this gray flanger, and we get some sounds to something crazy. And then you could also turn this one on. With them both on, it sounds pretty cool. The thing about the octave, I'll say real quick, what was it, snapshot 2? The thing about the octave is if you are anywhere between all the way down and all the way up, then you get some other crazy sounds. So. Yeah, pretty fun. You can play with it for hours. Now the next one was a fan favorite in the last video, and that is the acoustic to electric sound. So I put this on my single coil in the middle, and it sounds like, because it's an acoustic sim, and those sound best with a single coil in my opinion. All right, so here is the acoustic sound. If you put it on the like the humbucker pickup, it doesn't sound very good. So, single coil, way to go. Somewhere in the middle there, you can get a blend between the A path, which is acoustic, and the bottom, which is electric. And if you want to replace some of these other effects with a looper, you can actually loop something acoustic and then play lead line over it. I showed you that in the other video, but that's not how I have it set up in this one. The next one is the HWL expression looper. And what I wanted to show you is that you can make your own pad real quick. We'll do it real quick. Record a silent loop. I've done this on this video. No, I've done this on this channel a lot. You record a silent loop first because it keeps you from having any abrupt starts and stops. We'll end it right there. Let's put on my Jet Revelation with the shimmer setting. Real extreme. And then I have this attached to the playback so you can bring in and out that pad sound at will. So let's record something. And now we can play over it. Say it's too loud, you can bring it down a little bit. You get the point. Next, this is the bass patch I used. I don't have a bass guitar, but here we go. Little overdrive. And the third snapshot was a swell, in case you wanted to swell some bass stuff. Because when I played that day, they didn't have a keyboard player, and so I was able to hold down some of the lower end pad sounds during the prayer with some upper octave stuff on a bass. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, so the final part of the video is I want to show you a new way that I've been using snapshots. I said a new way to use snapshots. Nothing is really new here, but something clicked in my head a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I can use snapshots that way? I didn't even think about it. Now, if you know me, you've been around the channel, you know I love MIDI. I got the Jet MCX. I love being able to control my pedals via MIDI. We also have the command center on HX Stomp, which is kind of like an intro to MIDI. You can tell your MIDI pedals what to do, and I love doing that. But if there's any drawback, is that it takes a lot of work, a lot of setup time. Once it's set up, it's good to go, but it takes some time up front to get things the way you like them. Back when I used to run a more traditional board, I kind of like the feeling of being able to tap on and off different effects based on what I thought was needed in the moment, and that's all I could do. I didn't have any way to pre-program anything. And so now that I've been pre-programming stuff, it's great, but sometimes I pre-program stuff in my room with my headphones on, but when I get to the venue, it may sound a little different, so I gotta go tweak some stuff, but then I'm not plugged into my web editor, and so yeah, I just gotta change some stuff on the fly. And so I always like setting up my presets, and in the Expanse Pack users, you will know that a lot of times I always utilize snapshots. I did that a few updates ago, but then I also always leave it in stomp mode where you can still click on and off foot switches, because I still like the flexibility. No matter what the snapshot pulls up, I may want to change something, and I like that flexibility. Now, my normal method for playing on a weekend is that I like to copy and paste a preset. I like to act like I'm showing up with one amp that day, showing up with one pedal board, so I usually get a preset that I really like. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to this sound today, and I copy and paste a preset per song so that I can plug in the BPMs and I can use snapshots for different parts of the songs, and that works great, and I will continue to do that. But if you know one major problem with the HX Stomp, which is, it's not a problem, it's just how it is that there's a slight cut in volume when you go from preset to preset. Everybody knows this, and it's kind of frustrating for people, but Line 6 saw this coming and they said, hey, let's do snapshots. And so snapshots is a way to kind of get a snapshot, a preset within a preset of your preset, and you can go from snapshot to snapshot with spillover, with trails, no problem at all. No harsh cutout between those different settings, which is really great. And then I noticed one thing in the menu. Let me pick up the camera and just show you real quick. If you go to global settings and go over to this MIDI thing here, right here it says tempo select. And I used to have it on, you could do 3 different ways. You can do it on global. I used to have this set to preset, and so I could make sure that different BPMs were set per preset, but then I realized, oh, there's a third option. You can actually set it per snapshot. I had no idea. It's like game changer. So now I can make snapshot 1, snapshot 2, snapshot 3, 3 different songs, because really what I was doing was only copy and pasting a preset so that I could change the BPMs and certain other things. And with the preset thing, I could also change out an effect if I wanted to, and I still might do that. But for the most part, like I said, I just have the same rig. I have the same pedals, and so I could do this per snapshot and leave my stomp in stomp mode and still be able to toggle on and off different things. And what this does is allows me to go from song to song with spillover. And I was like, that's what I needed. That's what I want. What else can I do? I'll show you. So let me just scroll through the snapshots real quick, and you'll notice up here at the top, it says 75 BPM. Song 2 is 120 BPM, and song 3 is 129 BPM. Why not, right? Now you can't change the effect itself. Once you pick a delay, for example, you gotta stick with that particular delay. So I have vintage digital. When I switch from snapshot to snapshot, I have to stick with that effect. But I can change a lot of other things. I can change the scale here. I can even change the note division. So on this first snapshot, we have this kind of sound. Now snapshot 2, you'll notice that it went from a quarter to an eighth, and also I changed the scale from 100% down to 75, which should be an eighth plus 75% of an eighth, which is what, a dotted 16th? And the last snapshot is a dotted eighth. And then I also just added in some overdrive and a couple different modulation effects. I also, on every one of these presets, I forgot to say, I watched John Cordy's video on how to make the HX Stomp sound more amp-like, and he added this little low-high shelf, and I have to say, I really like it. Let me turn off all the effects. He brought up the lower shelf, the low gain, all the way to 12, which kind of adds this like low end but doesn't feel flubby at all. It just kind of makes it feel like it mimics air being pushed out of the amp, and then he bumped the frequency down here and left everything else the same. I'll let you hear. If you're listening with headphones, this is what it sounds like. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell it gives a little bit different sound. Let's go back up to this first one here and turn off all the effects, because I think I could really tell with this. So this is with it off. I really like it, so I included it in these presets. Let me know what you think. All right, like I said earlier, don't forget to enter the giveaway. Make sure you're subscribed, like this video if you did like it. And the next video that's coming out will be an interview with Cody Fields of Westminster Effects. Get to talk with him. Excited about that. We're going to talk about this pedal and a lot of other pedals. He's got some really cool gear. We're going to talk about that. And thank you everyone who has purchased the Expanse pack. I hope you still love it. Thank you for supporting me in this channel. It's just a little bit to help me be able to keep creating cool content like this. Also, I have some other products on the website at heyworshipleader.com. You can get some pads that I created last month, and I also have a digital worship planner on there. So if you're into planning and staying organized and you need something else to help you keep you accountable, check out the digital worship planner. It's really helped me a bunch. Now, I gotta get going, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.